again. I'm about to get in with my family and play in those beautiful waves you see back there. But before I do, I just wanted to say that I'm going to be continuing on the spine for one more post. Today you're in for another treat. I am going to be showing the movement challenge from my spine class from the online Stretch with Kim course that just is wrapping up, but I am going to be doing a new course. So if you're interested in signing up, you'll find that link in my bio. Otherwise, enjoy this segment, which is a movement challenge for rolling like a ball. But it won't really make very much sense unless you've seen and done the other two segments where the first segment I talk about a cool tool that I use where you can discover where your spine flexes and where it doesn't, because we want to distribute all of those forces in a rolling series of any sort through all our vertebral joints for maximum flexion and really good rolling instead of that little flat tire that I talk about. And then in last week's segment, I talked about why you have to step out of the patterns that we use in the Pilates exercises so that we can break down and create and do better articulations through the spine. So, and today we tie it all in and we get back into the same pattern, but this time I have a cool little trick in order for you to be able to try out using those vertebral joints that don't flex. So I hope you enjoy and see you next time. These exercises are probably going to seem pretty familiar to most of you, but we're going to apply the joint mechanics and stuff that we were talking about with the diaphragmatic breathing and trying to have segmental control through each vertebrae to disperse force. So the spine is made for rolling. We've got to roll. So when we do any kind of rolling up, rolling back, rolling like a ball, or any of the movements where we're trying to roll through our spine, there's a tendency for people to move where they can move and not move where you can't move. You can't move which you don't know how to move. So they tend to segment and roll through areas that have good flexion and the areas that don't have this kind of like speed bump that happens. And you'll notice it especially through the lumbar thoracic area where it starts to kind of flatten. So it's like a flat tire. One, there's the segmental control that's not there in those particular joints, which we worked on today. So hopefully you get a little bit more control through areas where you might not have as much, and as well the diaphragmatic control. So having that breath control to assist that joint control. So we're going to tie it all in together and work on having equal disbursement of flexion so that we don't have a flat tire in our rolling spine. The first exercise we're going to do, we're going to need a TheraBand and you're going to want a doorknob. We're going to tie a knot around our doorknob here. Now if you don't have a doorknob that feels really secure to you, you can attach it to the other side of the door and then pull it through and then shut the door. Or you can tie it and then we are going to put the knot on the top side and then tighten it down. You don't need it super tight. You want to be able to untie it. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to get into our equally dispersed C curve. Now, how far away you sit depends on how much tension support you need. The more support you get, the more you're able to work through joint capacities. This is where we're trying to work on improving the joint ranges and joint control. So you want to have support if you need it so that you can kind of change the pattern that happens through your body. Now that you know how to, hopefully, know how to move certain areas a little bit better. Now let's put them to the challenge. So I'm gonna sit a little bit more forward actually, and then we're gonna start from the tailbone. So tailbone, sit bones, that's the bottom of your pelvis, you need that. Then round each lumbar vertebrae, and then into the thoracic. Okay, so not here, but thoracic round. Okay, so now I should have fairly equally dispersed C curve. And then we're going to bring one leg up, and then the other leg up. Now, if you brought both legs up and you got this, where this arched or it's straightened out, we don't want that, right? Because we're trying to work that flexion needed for a good roll. So, you're going to go wherever that is for you, okay? If it's lower, if it's higher, play with it. If you need more tension, the other thing you can do is just leave one leg down and do this exercise. So I'm going to show both versions. We're going to take an inhale here. I'm really working my flexion all throughout my whole spine. And exhale, and we're going to row. What happens when we row is there's a tendency for us to release. So we're challenging that. We're challenging our ability to roll, pull the scapula back without letting this happen. Really pretty tough actually. So really feeling the desire to arch here and really opposing that. You can see me shake. Exhale as you pull. All right, so if you did one leg, bring the other one up, holding that flexion. Row. Obviously, the further away you are too, the more tension there's going to be. So you have to find a challenging area that still allows you to flex with good disbursement. So challenge, but with the ability to work on the skill that we're trying to work on, the intent, which is full spine flexion, right? Let's do a couple more. If your abs are not burning, you probably could flex a little bit more. And come up.